welcome back. I am Largo, and today we are checking out another SCP video. Today it's going to be SCP-4255, Santa Claus, the Time Traveler. Now we're getting real close to Christmas, and a lot of us are celebrating the holidays, so of course, what better time to check out the Santa Claus SCP than now? And judging from the title, obviously, Santa Claus. Apparently he's a time traveler, which I guess would kind of make sense. If you were a time traveler, it would make the whole traveling around the world and getting gifts to potentially millions of people or millions of households in a single night, that would actually be very possible, provided you could travel time. Let's go ahead and jump right into it and see what is up with Santa Claus, SCP-4255.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Miller, and the SCP we're going to be looking at today is SCP-4255. Object Class: Keter. Special Containment Procedures. Due to the widespread knowledge of the base anomalous properties of SCP-4255, it has been given the secondary classification of a cracked veil uncontained anomaly. In order to suppress further information of SCP-4255, Procedure Yule-2 has been created. Procedure Yule-2 occurs as follows. Annually on 12 p.m. Coordinated Universal Time, November 22nd, memetic agents are to be implemented into all forms of media, including television programs, new works of literature, Foundation front accounts on social media websites, and various forms of performing and visual arts. These memetic agents are designed to implant false memories into parents or guardians of any children who celebrate the holiday Christmas. These memories include the purchasing of gifts that will be given to their children by SCP-4255 on December 25th, and the placing of said gifts on that night by SCP-4255. Any individuals which have been unaffected by the memetic treatment described above are to be located and manually treated. Starting on 8 p.m. Coordinated Universal Time, December 24th, 2 unarmed military aircrafts are to locate, track, and follow all temporal versions of SCP-4255 and make note of any noticeable changes in behavior from SCP-4255. Lethal force is not permitted when interacting with SCP-4255. When all versions of SCP-4255 have vanished, all Foundation interference is to cease.
Okay, so pretty interesting already, the fact that because the mythos of Santa Claus is so well known around the world by millions and millions of people, they go on a memetic campaign through media, through apparently all forms of media, to implant false memories of purchasing and placing gifts for Christmas, because apparently this version of Santa Claus is the one who's responsible for placing those gifts. And to avoid potential freakouts from people going, hey, I didn't purchase this and I didn't put this here, who broke into my house? They send out a memetic message to implant false memories in people. So already, that's a pretty neat twist on the whole concept of Santa Claus, and a pretty interesting way that the Foundation has their fingers in this particular mythos. But let's continue.
After 12 a.m. Coordinated Universal Time, December 25th, social media is to be tracked for any images of or accounts with SCP-4255, and images or conspiracy theories centered around Procedure Yule-2. Any offending pieces of information are to be labeled as hoax or erased, with the publishers being located and treated to Class A amnestics. In extreme cases, all viewers of information described above are to be treated with Class A amnestics, with all social media being cleansed of any information on SCP-4255 or Procedure Yule-2 that these cases could spawn. Efforts to partake in a secondary interview with SCP-4255 are to be attempted, as SCP-4255 seems to possess valuable information on controllable temporal anomalies and on the historical future of the human race. Description: SCP-4255 is a humanoid male with an aged appearance, approximately 1.4 meters in height and 150 kilograms in weight. SCP-4255 appears to be in his 60s or 70s. However, reports of SCP-4255 manifestations have dated back to 400 AD. SCP-4255 possesses a similar appearance to the traditional attire of the character Santa Claus. No current connection between SCP-4255 and the Bishop St. Nicholas have been made, along with the red and gold ornate sleigh that his character is known to be present in, designated SCP-4255-1. SCP-4255-1 is capable of flight via unknown means and is able to travel at speeds of approximately 100 km per hour, with SCP-4255 remaining inside SCP-4255-1 during flight, even when scientifically impossible. SCP-4255-1 is drawn by 8 cervid animals resembling Rangifer tarandus, also known by the names caribou or reindeer, although infrared scans show that these do not possess any heat signatures, and it is currently unknown if these are living organisms. SCP-4255 manifestations periodically occur at 8 p.m. Coordinated Universal Time, December 24th each year, during which SCP-4255 will appear somewhere approximately 1 kilometer in the air above the Earth's surface in SCP-4255-1. SCP-4255 and/or SCP-4255-1 appear to possess the ability to generate small-scale temporal anomalies. During its appearances, as many as 294 versions of SCP-4255 are present on across the globe at once, with many versions processing visual differences that have not yet occurred to SCP-4255 from a linear standpoint. SCP-4255 manifestations always follow a similar pattern of events after its initial appearance.
Apparently, he does not show up in millions of places all at once. As a time traveler, that would theoretically be possible, right? Just spend every day of the year showing up in, depending on how long it takes him, right? Let's say it only takes him a couple minutes to appear inside of a house, place presents, and then disappear. So only, a couple minutes or maybe even less. It could potentially, he could pull that off in 60 seconds or less. He could make that particular time jump multiple times a day, every day, and conceivably place himself, because he can travel through time, conceivably place himself in the same day, in the same hour, thousands of times. But apparently he doesn't do that. The highest number that they give is 294. So around 300 instances at a time. Things always get wonky when time travel is involved. There's so many possibilities that this could be. He could be a magical creature. He could be just some random schmo from the far future that just happens to have technology so advanced that it seems like magic. So it could be a lot of things. His whole getup may be just very advanced technology. The sleigh, the reindeer, that could all just be incredibly advanced technology from the far future, and we have a person who's essentially just filling the role of Santa Claus. So pretty interesting. So let's go ahead and continue.
SCP-4255 will land on the roof or near a household of individuals that celebrate the holiday Christmas, regardless of religious background, and will use its temporal abilities to enter the household. SCP-4255 will then produce a multitude of wrapped gifts and toys, with number of gifts given varying from child to child. It is also of note that SCP-4255 has a significant understanding of the likes and dislikes of each child on Earth, with presents given having an 82.56% accuracy rate compared to what the children would like to have received for a gift at that time.
Okay.
All recorded gifts have been non-anomalous, with SCP-4255 actively avoiding the giving of gifts a child wants if it could be classified as anomalous. SCP-4255 will repeat this pattern until all children who celebrate Christmas on the planet have received at least one gift from it. Attempts to approach SCP-4255 or SCP-4255-1 in an effort to capture either anomaly on the ground or in the sky have resulted in failure. with SCP-4255 using its temporal abilities to evade capture. Addendum 4255-1. Before an SCP-4255 manifestation on the year 2018, several houses of Foundation personnel were equipped with audio transmission devices, which was then used to make an official direct contact with SCP-4255 for the first time on record.
Okay, interesting. It's almost like they set up a sting operation to at least communicate. Obviously, they can't catch him, but at least communicate with 4255. All right, let's see what he has to say. This should be interesting.
Log 4255-1. Interviewed, SCP-4255. Interviewer, Researcher Mayer. Begin log.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Who is this?
This is Researcher Charles Mayer. I come from an organization with...
The SCP Foundation? They told me I'd run into you guys today. Aren't you the people always trailing in those jets? Those things are out up close, you know.
The SCP Foundation, yes. Who do you mean by they?
Well, it's probably gonna mess up time and cause some butterfly effect shit, but they told me to tell you guys this for some reason. Well, they're called the U.S. Department of Chronology. Pretty stupid name if you ask me. Chronology sounds like the most sci-fi thing ever. What year is it right now? I want to make sure I don't say anything too major.
2018.
Oh, God. Well, they said there's some government branch that keeps check over time travel and stuff, and, well, they sort of forced me to do this. I'd like to go find stuff from the past and, well, take it. I had one of Hitler's paintings before, a block from those pyramids that were in Africa. You know, stuff like that.
I'm afraid I don't quite follow. What does this have to do with you being... well, being...
I'm getting to that. Just give me a sec. So one day, some government cronies came and took me away. Thought I was being careful, I did, but I guess not careful enough. Probably have some way to detect time travel. Anyway, they told me I had to do this. Looked like I got off easy, but this got boring after a while. Been doing this for like 2.5 years. One Christmas every day.
I see. So, do you have a real name, then?
Stan Klein. I haven't been born yet. That's always a weird thing to say. You probably know me as Santa Claus or something like that. You tell a kid your name in the 5th century and the half-deaf little shit tells everyone your name is Santa Claus. I hope some crazy government shoots me out of the sky so I can get this hell over with.
If you're a time traveler, then when are you from?
2099.
Huh. Well then, how do you have such a good understanding of each child's wants for the holiday? Is this some sort of future technology?
Not sure I can tell you that. I've caused enough paradoxes with this one interview already. Wait a second. Are you guys gonna put this in a document or something?
Yes, this will be logged in...
Shit! That's how they knew. They read this damn log!
Excuse me?
I ain't saying anything else.
SCP-4255 uses a temporal anomaly to vacate the area in SCP-4255-1.
Wow, okay, so that interview was pretty illuminating and very interesting. It seems like he is a random Joe Schmo, right? It seems like he is obviously from the future. He claims 2099, and that he is in fact using advanced technology to do this. Apparently he was a thief and got caught, and the U.S. Department of Chronology picked him up. It's like the TVA from Loki. They saw someone using unapproved time travel for unapproved reasons, and they scooped him up. And rather than, throwing him in jail or quote-unquote pruning them like they do in Loki, he was essentially put into forced servitude, put into a job playing the role of Santa Claus. He claims to have told someone his name a long time ago, and that was misconstrued as Santa Claus. So very interesting here. This leaves a lot of things open for questioning. Like, I have so many questions for this U.S. Department of Chronology. When was that founded? I would assume that something like that would probably have at least been influenced by the SCP Foundation or one of the other major groups of interests. Yes, it says that it's government, right? It's the U.S. Department of Chronology. So, maybe it's a foundation offshoot that works for or with the U.S. government.
End log. Closing statement. SCP-4255 refused all efforts to cooperate with questioning after the events of this interview, and instead yelled obscenities at interviewers when attempts to question were made. No records of a Stan Klein matching SCP-4255's description have been found. Addendum 4255-2. On September 4th, 2097, the Foundation Department of Chronology was formed after the discovery of replicatable, controllable travel non-linearly through time was discovered. After parallels between SCP-4255's described host organization and the newly formed department were made, Stan Klein, a man matching the physical description of SCP-4225, was tracked and placed into Foundation custody. It was later found that Klein had access to a temporal anomaly, allowing him to travel through time non-linearly. To avoid a possible CK-class reality configuration scenario or a PT-class paradoxical time breakdown scenario, the Foundation is to give Klein the full capabilities to perform the actions of SCP-4255, along with the recorded appearance of SCP-4255, a large sleigh built to the specifications of SCP-4255-1 was created using several anomalies, making it capable of controllable flight, along with the sleigh and Klein being equipped with devices designed to create small-scale temporal anomalies. 8 heat-resistant models resembling the now extinct Rangifer Tyrannus were attached to the front of the sleigh in a manner that suggests that they are pulling the craft behind them.
Okay, so this is saying that the chronology department is actually a Foundation thing, like I was thinking. I was thinking that they had at least some part in either its creation or its operation, and that is apparently the case. It's all starting to kind of come together, come back in on itself. Apparently they found this Stan Klein guy and gave him all the technology needed to perform these actions. Very interesting.
It's given are to be produced by the Beta Temporal Knowledge Artificial Intelligence Unit, commonly abbreviated as BTK-AI, an AI created by the Foundation that uses time anomalies to know all information across linear timeframes. While the BTK-AI unit currently only knows information up to an undisclosed year in the 21st century, this year is expected to change at a rate that will be constant enough for Klein to fulfill his duties. All other information to the BTK-AI unit is classified. It is currently unknown when Klein will finish his duties as SCP-4255. Klein will finish his role as SCP-4255 on Christmas Day on an undisclosed year within the 22nd century. This concludes today's lecture. Thank you for listening. If indeed you still are, happy holidays or whatever you celebrate, and you're all dismissed. Goodbye.
Okay, that was SCP-4255, Santa Claus the Time Traveler. All right, really interesting one there, and I think that I managed to get quite a bit of that through sheer guessing, through, my knowledge of time travelers through science fiction and comic books and things like that. So, it seems like this guy was a random average Joe Schmo from the future, who got wrapped up in this time travel stuff, managed to get his hands on some advanced technology that allowed him to travel through time. He went through time and kind of stole some stuff. And the U.S. Department of Chronology, at least in 2099, the U.S., it's referred to as the U.S. Department of Chronology, but was founded, at least in theory from what we're seeing here, by the Foundation, starting as the Foundation Department of Chronology. And they, I guess, kept an eye out for this Stan Klein guy, found him when he was born, and picked him up at the right time, presumably as an adult, equipped him with all the gear necessary to play the part of Santa Claus, and basically forced him into this role. A little predictable, but you've got to kind of follow some rules with time travel without trying to create a bunch of paradoxes and things like that. Even the Foundation themselves has realized, like, okay, well, clearly we've come across this guy before, and sometime in the future he gets all the stuff to make this happen. And when they realized, holy cow, we are the ones that apparently did this, they made sure to follow through on that and give him everything he needs to make this possible. This is basically a science fiction version of Santa Claus, which is kind of neat. We see that the guy's demeanor is pretty normal, right? He speaks relatively like a normal person, using profanity and getting a little bit emotional about this, not wanting to give out too much information. For this is legitimately his job. This is his profession. This is what he does. And it's not a magical entity. There's no, North Pole with elves and magic reindeer that float on stardust or whatever it is. So very, very interesting. It's probably the first time I've seen a purely science fiction based version of Santa Claus. He's almost always some kind of magical entity. So this is actually kind of a breath of fresh air to see a science fiction version of Santa Claus. As far as an SCP goes, it's a little different. It's not horror themed at all. It's not, he's not dangerous. Clearly, the Foundation in the future does get their hands on time travel, which would beg a lot of other questions. Why haven't they used time travel to deal with some of these other SCPs? I appreciate this new twist on the Santa Claus mythos. I hope you guys enjoyed the reaction. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead and click that like button. And as always, consider hitting that subscribe button as well so you can stay up to date with all the most recent reactions. And leave a comment down below. Let me know what other SCPs we should be checking out. Let me know what other videos in general we should be checking out. And thanks for watching the video. Thanks for stopping by. Take care of yourselves. Have a happy holidays. Enjoy whatever it is that you celebrate. Spend some time with friends and family. And just have a great day and a great holiday season, guys.